You're standing in front of a raging river. Behind you, 2 million people counting on you. Ahead, enemies who want to destroy you. And God says, just walk into the water. This is the story of the man who did the impossible. Without hesitation, his name was Joshua. And this gets wild. All right, people. We're starting with a massive problem. Moses, the Moses who split the Red Sea, is dead. And who has to lead 2 million Israelites through enemy territory now? An ex-soldier named Joshua. No pressure, right? Wait, there is pressure. Because in front of him lies the Jordan River. Not just some little stream, but a monster of a current running at full force. And on the other side, Jericho. A city with walls so thick that houses are built on top of them. But here's where it gets interesting. Joshua isn't just some random guy. This man had been Moses' right hand for 40 years. He'd seen the plagues in Egypt. He'd watched the Red Sea split. He'd climbed Mount Sinai with Moses. But now he's the guy. The pressure is crushing. Imagine 2 million people looking at you, waiting for your next move. Families with children, elderly people who've been walking through the desert for 4 decades, warriors ready to fight but needing direction. They're all thinking the same thing. Can this guy really replace Moses? Then God shows up with a plan. But not just any plan. A plan so crazy, it sounds like a joke. Listen to this, Joshua. You see that raging river? Yes, God. Have the priests carrying the ark walk into it. I'm sorry, what? Just walk into it. Trust me. Now pause for a second. The Ark of the Covenant isn't just some box. This thing is sacred. It contains the stone tablets with the 10 Commandments. It's where God's presence dwells. The priests are so careful with it that they barely dare to touch it. God's saying, wade into a torrential river with it. This is the moment where faith heroes are made. Joshua has a choice, doubt or act. What do you think he does? Joshua gives the command. The priests lift the ark, this holy golden artifact that they normally barely dare to approach, and walk toward the river. The entire nation watches. Can you imagine the silence? 2 million people holding their breath. First foot touches the water, second foot, and then the water stops. Just stops. Like someone hit the pause button on reality. The water upstream piles up like a wall, reaching toward the sky. The water downstream disappears completely. There's a dry path straight through the riverbed. 2 million people are watching this happen. Jaws drop. Children point. Adults start crying. And Joshua just walks through like this is normal Tuesday behavior. But think about what the enemies across the river are seeing. They're watching nature itself bend to the will of Israel's God. Their plans to stop Israel at the river completely shattered. They know, if their God can do this, what else can they do? Now it gets really intense. Because it's one thing for the water to stop, but 2 million people still have to cross. Picture yourself walking on the bottom of a river with walls of water towering on both sides. You know that at any moment, whoosh, the water could come crashing down. It's not just fear they're dealing with. It's awe. Every step on that dry riverbed is a step deeper into miracle territory. Children are laughing with pure joy. Parents are crying with relief. The elderly are muttering prayers of amazement. And Joshua is not just crossing, he's leading. Making sure everyone gets across safely. Organizing the tribes. It's keeping order in the middle of chaos. All 2 million people cross safely. The water flows again. They're in the promised land. But now they look up. What they see freezes the blood in their veins. Jericho. Walls 25 feet high and 20 feet thick. So wide that houses are built on top of them. Soldiers patrolling the ramparts. Spears glinting in the sun. City that looks absolutely unconquerable. The people start to whisper, how are we supposed to take that? And then God tells Joshua the strategy for Jericho. And it's so bizarre that you think he's joking. March around the city once a day for 6 days. Don't say a word. Just walk around it. That's it. On the 7th day, march around it 7 times. Then have everyone shout, shout. The walls will fall down. Joshua has to tell this to 2 million people. Imagine that conversation. Okay, everyone, here's the battle plan. We're going to walk around the city in silence. That's the plan. For 6 days, yes? And then we yell really loud and the walls fall down? I mean, this sounds like something a 5-year-old would come up with. But Joshua doesn't question it. He doesn't hold a strategy meeting. He doesn't ask for a backup plan. He just says, we do what God says. Day 1 begins at dawn. The priests lift the ark, the people fall into formation, and they start walking. Complete silence, except for footsteps. The people of Jericho are watching from their walls, probably thinking, what are these crazy people doing? Around the entire city they march, this massive parade of 2 million people just walking. Then they go back to camp. The Jericho defenders are confused. That's it? They just walked around us? Day 2, same thing. Complete silence, march around once, go home. Day 3, 4, 5, 6. The psychological warfare is brilliant. The people of Jericho are getting more nervous each day. What are they planning? When will they attack? Then comes day 7. Tension is unbearable. Joshua assembles the people before dawn, and this time, they march around the city 7 times. Can you imagine being inside Jericho, watching this? They're not stopping. They're doing it again. And again. By the 7th march, the priests blow their trumpets with piercing blasts, the sound echoing off the walls. Joshua raises his voice above the noise. Shout! The Lord has given the city into our hands. And 2 million people unleash the most deafening roar in human history. The ground shakes, the walls tremble, and then crash. The massive walls of Jericho, these impossible, unconquerable fortifications, collapse into rubble. Just like that, the Israelites surge forward into the city, and what they find inside is chaos. The defenders are paralyzed with fear and awe. Some try to fight, but they re-overwhelmed by the sheer terror of realizing they refacing a God who can make rivers stop and walls fall with a shout. Joshua organizes the conquest methodically. He ensures order among his people, secures the city, and follows God's instructions exactly. The spoils are gathered as commanded, the city becomes theirs, and children run through the streets laughing with joy and disbelief. But Joshua knows this is just the beginning. Scouts bring reports of other cities, other enemies, other challenges ahead. That night, as campfires cast shadows over the ruins of Jericho's walls, Joshua walks among his people. He sees faces bright with joy, faces pale with the memory of fear, eyes wide with the realization that they've witnessed the impossible. The city is theirs, but the land stretches endlessly beyond, full of both promise and danger. Joshua gathers his leaders and makes it clear, this is just the first victory. The Lord has shown his power. We must continue to trust him for every battle ahead. As dawn breaks over their first conquest in the Promised Land, the people stir with new confidence. They've seen what happens when you obey God completely, even when his plans sound impossible. They've learned that the God who can stop rivers and topple walls is fighting for them. Joshua stands among them, no longer the uncertain replacement for Moses, but a proven leader who trusts God without hesitation. The land waits ahead, and they're ready to claim it, one impossible victory at a time. This is what happens when ordinary people do extraordinary things through faith. This is the story of Joshua, the ultimate warrior, who knew that the battle belongs to the Lord,